Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And you got candy in your mouth or something? Oh, we're, all right. Very professional. 3,000 episodes, guys, give or take a few.
I'm sorry.
The official weapon of the show is the folding chair. And the unofficial sport, bullet ball. Extreme. Find us everywhere you get podcasts. Don't forget to sign up for the Patreon if you would like to. I just recently, I'm still tinkering around with Patreon. So a few things. One, recently was able to activate the year-long subscription. Yeah. Coming up in a week, I think the 18th is when it starts. We'll be having our annual Black Friday sale where you can get a year for $100 even, basically $8 a month. So you'll be able to start signing up for that. You can also sign up for that through our website, theblackouttest.com/premium. All these links are in our show notes. Mm-hmm. It helps us out tremendously when you guys do that stuff. Mm-hmm. But also, I found out through a very gracious fan who, she's heard me on the show talking about how some people have canceled their memberships and stuff like that. Because look, man, the government was shut down, people losing jobs, layoffs. Y'all know, y'all live in it, we live in it. Y'all know. And so she was like, I'll pay for two people's memberships. And she was like, I can Venmo you, PayPal you, whatever. And she Venmo'd me, and I already gave out the memberships, to people that had emailed me like, man, I'm sorry, but I got to cancel. Right. So, people are very nice about it, but, there's I'm sorry, bills, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I found a couple of those people, because I don't have all the emails for people that sent those requests, but some of the people emailed to even say, this is specifically what's going on with me. Right. And so...
and we don't require that.
Right, yeah, you don't need to do that. Mm-hmm. But, I guess in a weird way it worked out this time for a couple of those people, because I hit them up and was like, boom. And what I found out was I can make it so I can gift a subscription to our Patreon. So say you want to pay for somebody else's membership, I can actually go and create a link on Patreon that just that person can get access for however long I designated and whatever. Okay. So now the person hasn't hit me back to let me know that if it worked 100%. I think it will work. Right. But if so, that could be another thing people could do if you would like to donate a membership to somebody.
Right, because everybody ain't got the 5.
Yeah, so it's cool. If I want to, once again, no
not
pressure.
Required, right.
Not required. Mm-hmm. You're not a bad person if you don't do this.
No,
I don't want anybody to feel that way. Right. But it was more like a cool, neat feature, because I was like, can you even do that? And it was like, oh shit, you can. I was like, well, let's try it out. So there you go. Let's see, where should we start? Did you have any banter for today?
I do.
All right, let me get that out. Why do I always have a hard time? There we go. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Talk to me. Banter. Talk to me. Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter.
I do.
All right, Karen, get the bantering.
Yes. The Hornets, they send us stuff periodically, because we're season ticket holders. And so they sent a hat, and Roger liked the hat. And then they sent a good old thick fleece for me. And I was like, ooh, y'all must know the household there. Everybody was happy with that box. It's good and weighted and heavy. I like this fleece. I was wrapped up in it for days.
Yeah, it looks real comfortable. It was good quality too. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Hornets.
Child, I like a good fleece. I got about 4 or 5 of them over here. I rotate around. I'm always cold.
Yeah, I remember there was a fable or some story, a Greek story about something to do with a fleece, and I didn't know what a fleece was. But now that I know what it is, I see why that man had to kill them people or whatever it was in that fable. why do I feel like every year I'm losing the battle the day I finally turn on the heat? Like I don't know why it's a badge of honor to not turn on the heat. And I bet for people that are more like cold blooded or warm blooded or whatever, it's like the other way. If you're always cold, it's like, oh, the day I had to turn on the AC. But for me, it's the day I turn on the heat. I'll be like, damn it.
Right. You know it's cold outside because we normally don't.
The salad days are back or whatever.
Right. Because somebody turned it on in the building around us, and child, all the alarms went off. Because I said, Roger, is something burning? I didn't know what was happening.
How have we not fixed that technology?
Right. Well, like shit don't smell like it's burning now.
You turn on the heat for the first time and everybody's house smell like it's going up in flame. My fire detectors be going off. I'm like, it's not a fire. I just turned on the heat for the first time.
Right. And it's like, wait a minute, what's happening?
But yeah, I had to turn on that heat. Anything else?
Yes. I found out that Ketchup Town and a city named Duck is real. They was playing this. We was at the Hornets game. Drink, y'all.
Oh, God. I can't feel my face.
We was at the Hornets game. And so they was playing this game where they was like, is this a real city or AI? And one of the places was called Ketchup Town, and one of the places was called Duck. And they are real cities. I was like, oh, shit. You learn something new every day.
You know what's funny about that game they played? Where it was, is this city real or is it AI? Which was brought to you by, I'm sure, some AI sponsor. Mm-hmm. You know what that means?
What that mean?
They're saying AI make shit up. Yeah. In that scenario, they weren't saying like, normally when they do a commercial for AI, it's like, AI will help you find out something. It'll help you organize your day. It'll complete your thought in a way that you save you time. They're saying our AI lies. It's just lying.
It's just making shit up.
Is this a real city or is it AI says are we lying to you? Why would Chat GPT tell me in the commercial, I be lying to your ass? I will tell you any fucking thing.
Anything.
And that was your ad that you decided to pitch to me, sports fan.
Yes.
Because you thought it'd be a cute game to see if LaMelo Ball knew that Ketchup City was real or the one y'all made up. You know, like that's kind of wild.
It is.
I'm done. Unless you have
my last one, and we'll probably end up talking more about this in Balls Deep, but this is my favorite time of the year. I love basketball. Like I said, I love football, but basketball is my number one love when it comes to like any sport in the world. I love me some basketball, and last night was a great night. I stayed up way past my bedtime at Roger watching the basketball games, and child, they were great last night. Everybody was double overtime and last second shots. I had a ball last night.
I think last night might have been the greatest day in NBA regular season history. I'm not even joking. Like even better than like those. Now you have to have League Pass or whatever. You know, I know everybody can't watch all the games, but we got League Pass.
That's right.
But we went to the Hornets game. That was like the only game that was really like a blowout last night. Mm-hmm. And that was only a 10-point game. Actually, the Hornets came back, but and we saw Luka go the fuck off.
Luka being Luka,
which was always great to watch. You know, we didn't get to see LeBron this year, but watching Luka be like MVP style Luka, oh my God, he was a problem.
It was so much fun because that's the thing. Yes, I'm rooting for my team, but I also enjoy other superstars too. Like you ain't got to be on my team for me to admit your greatness. And so I really enjoyed that. And he did a fluke where the shot didn't even count. He just tossed the ball up in the air and it went in. I was like, God damn, you just fucking around, sir.
Yeah, he threw it from 3/4 court after the timeout was called, and it was all net. But the thing is, like that last night, you had multiple I think 3 last second shot wins. You had I think either overtime or double overtime game. Mm-hmm. You know, stars were starring, highlights were highlighting, all that stuff was cool. And yeah, it was just like a great day. And Luka played so good that they fired the dude that traded Luka last year, Nico.
This morning.
And I know the rumor is that, you know, the team just didn't want to pay Luka $70 million. and they're scapegoating the GM. But all I know is the GM was carrying that water in the interviews, and he had to know. Like, this is the thing that nobody wanted to say, but because I made a joke about, like, yeah, you got to fire that dude as soon as he walk in the office and say, let's trade Luka Doncic. You're like, oh, you fired. You're not really a real GM. How you get in the office?
Right.
But, like, let's say it's the opposite way.
Who let you in here?
Let's say it's the opposite way, because there's a lot of people that's like, no, what really happened is that they wanted to not pay Luka, so they told the GM to trade him, and then they made him the scapegoat. Let's say that that's true.
Yeah, I don't think.
Let's say that's true, though. Please.
Okay.
That's when I quit.
Yeah, because I know my job
because
I'm
like, no, you don't understand. If I do this trade, I can never be a GM for no other team.
Nope.
They gonna think it's my idea.
Mm-hmm.
So whether y'all think he came up with that shit or he did, or he was told to do the shit, either way, he had to make a decision, and he made the wrong decision. Because I would have been like, yeah, dog, I can't.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be like, well, we're gonna have to fire you. That's fine.
That's fine.
I'm gonna tell everybody why you fired me, and
yes.
they're gonna say, you know what, you could come work for our organization, because if we ever get somebody good as Luka Doncic, we need a GM that's not gonna trade his ass.
Yep, I will be telling everybody,
because they gonna look at what's going on in Dallas after they trade him and be like, woo, that GM was right when he said y'all shouldn't have did that shit. But yeah, it was I love the NBA, and it was fun last night.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Mm-mm.
All right, let's get into some politics.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
All right. Politics till we get mad. And I've been online. I've seen people are very mad all over the place. But I'm probably going to give you guys some lukewarm takes that are maybe going to calm the temperature down on some of these things. And then other things I'm sure I'll get mad. Mm-hmm. The first one is the Senate has agreed to end the government shutdown. So, you need a 60-40 vote. And 8 Democrats essentially defected from the leadership, which is Schumer in the Senate. Schumer was like, we're going to keep this thing going, but this is the story, okay? There's like some Democrats that are either centrist or they're in conservative states, whatever, or they're not up for re-election for 6-7 years or some shit like that. So some of them was like, look, it's 8 of us. We got more than enough. We got exactly enough to go over there and get this thing passed for the Republicans, just to keep the government open, because we're not the party in charge. We don't have the leverage. We don't really have any power. So we're going to just go and do that. And that was like, I think maybe right at the beginning, so almost 4 weeks ago. And, or maybe 2 weeks into the deal. And then to the holdout. And then Schumer said, no, don't do that. And they said, you can't stop us from doing that. But he said, well, can you just give us until the beginning of next month at least, November. And apparently they said, yeah. And then, 7 days into the next month, they was like, all right, let's go ahead and deal with Thune. I think that's the leader of the Republicans. And those 8 Democrats engaged in these talks. And they had been talking to, I guess, engaged in these talks for weeks, but they publicly was like, boom, we siding with them. And I want to say it's like John Fetterman, who's kind of a predictable one there. Tim Kaine is another one. One of the dudes is like an independent but caucuses with the Dems or something like that. So it was all people that like nobody you probably care about or really shocked by. But there's two ways to look at it, and I'm of the mind to kind of look at them both ways. The first one is a more empathetic way, which is there was a lot of people being hurt by the government shutdown. Democrats didn't really have a lot of leverage to get much. The thing that they said they wanted was an extension on some of the Affordable Care Act, like these bonuses. They're like, so the Affordable Care Act won't go away, but it was like some tax credits that Biden passed under to shore up the Affordable Care Act that Obama had already passed. So I'm guessing those expired at the end of the year, is what I'm reading anyway. So maybe they looked at it and said, look, these Republicans aren't going to give us that. We don't actually have the power, and they'll make everyone suffer as long as possible until, they don't. There's no end point for them. They'll never they don't give a fuck, and they want to shut the government down partially because of Epstein shit and blah blah blah. So yeah, the empathetic part of me, I told y'all I wasn't like gloating. I wasn't trying to be theoretical and talk shit, because there's a lot of people that are government employees that are affected. There's a lot of people SNAP benefit, like that is a real thing. It's easy to have privilege in this scenario and be like, man, look, they just need to win this fight. I don't give a fuck if they get them SNAP benefits or not. The courts were looking like they might rule in favor of Democrats and states that were going to give out SNAP, but that's not a guarantee. Meaning, we were not guaranteed that this thing somehow gets back to the Supreme Court, and however long that time takes, the Supreme Court goes, yeah, we're going to do this along ideological lines. Whatever Trump wants to do is okay with us. We don't give a fuck about them people, right? I don't know. Part of this also relies on, part of the opposition to this, and once again, it's another thing we can never know, relies on the fact that they think enough outrage and inconvenience to Americans will make Republicans somehow go, oh, okay, that's enough. Like they kept saying, like, well, if it goes to Thanksgiving and people can't travel to see their families, then Republicans will have to do. And it's like, I don't really know that the Republicans will. I don't. I mean, I'm with y'all on pushing it to the brink, but I'd be lying to y'all to be like, and then they definitely would hit a rock bottom and then be like, oh yeah, we lost. I mean, even losing in courtrooms, they've lost in courtrooms and just not comply with the law. Whenever a judge rules, they're just like, fuck that. They're still trying to get that dude Abrego, I think it's Garcia, they're still trying to get him kicked out of the country. Like they just don't give a fuck. So the best, I think, sale for the Democrats, the 8 that went to the other side, would be some level of like, look, man, people were suffering. It's very real. I don't think we were going to get the Affordable Care Act stuff passed. I don't think we were going to get that extension. And we need to get back to work, doing what we can, right? Problem is, when I saw some of these candidates go out, or I guess politicians, when I saw some of them go out and do interviews, their interviews were not, at least the clips I saw. Now, maybe in the context, the clip, because, that's not fair, because, clip can be on the internet, they'll take like the worst 10 seconds. But like the cases that I saw they were making were not the case of like, look, man, it's just real people being affected by this, and the country is unsafe with the FAA and all this shit. I know Republicans did this, but we need some sense of stability, blah, blah, blah. And if I got to lose my seat whenever I'm up, then it's worth it for people that will get SNAP benefits that weren't eating, blah, blah, blah. They not saying that. It was like stuff like, listen, standing up to Trump doesn't work. I'm like, what the fuck? Whose man is this? Who sent you out the house and let you say that on camera? You can't be saying that. We all know Federline's a complete bitch. So you already know he finna suck at the teeth of Trump. Like, I just, the messaging on this is gonna be crazy. The credits that are set to expire at the end of the year, what they got promised was, we'll do a vote on it. which doesn't mean shit for Republicans. A vote, what that is an antiquated idea. This notion that everybody's going to pay attention and remember which politicians voted which way and keep that same energy until it's time for those specific 8 politicians to go up and whatever, or those Republicans that, you know, like whoever voting against this healthcare thing, you want those same people to be like, that's it. Affordable Care Act was my line in the sand. I'm voting out my Republican who I voted for under Trump twice and all this shit. I don't think people work that way anymore. I don't know that they ever work that way. I don't think our ADHD brains are going to keep that same energy that a vote from November 2025 will resonate with people in November 2026 for these people that you're thinking about running against and hoping they lose. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think it'll work. I don't think it'll matter. Another thing is, I don't trust Republicans to put the fucking thing to a vote. I think they'll lie to your face and be like, no, we said whatever fuck we need to say in that meeting, but why do you think I have honor? I'm a scorpion, you're a frog. Come on, bitch, let me hop on your back. Let's cross this river. So I mean, I'll be shocked if it comes to a vote, and I'd be triply shocked if it passed anything. This is and like, for the record, this is one of those things where it's antiquated because there's a certain disconnect that people that follow politics have from like just life. Especially if you're engaging a lot online and back and forth and debates and shit about it. There's a little bit of a disconnect because I don't think anybody should be fuming, cussing, mad at the idea that people are getting they're getting their benefits. What people are mad is that it doesn't feel like they got anything, and so you might as well have bent over right away. So this comes my second point. And this is a more cynical point, and I think a lot of people won't like this, but if this is what happened, then I kind of do like this, and it's just not a kind thing that I'm about to say, but I would not have put it past Schumer to have said, look, we don't have the leverage. We can't stop this shit. We could agree to this deal right now, keep the government going, whatever. Or we could just let everybody be mad as fuck when it's time to vote. And so for the next month, which is when voting is happening, early voting and day of, we're not gonna pass this bill. We're not gonna, because he wants to keep the government open. He said it many times even before this shit. He's in the past he's done it, but there was no voting happening. I think cynically he may have made a move where he's like, let's weaponize the suffering of Americans, which is something that a lot of people don't have a stomach for and obviously would hate on Democrats for doing. It's some very shrewd, political, cynical calculus to do. If they did that, I mean, this is how I would make it look. And then, because he still voted no, to be like, no, I don't want to do it. And then those 8 safe senators or whatever that are like, yes, he's like, oh, those guys are going against my wishes. I don't even want him to do this. Now, whether he's doing that to keep his seat or to try to make people understand that the party line was no, and then these 8 people were the ones that really need to go or whatever, I don't know. But if that's the case, I actually, like I said, it sounds fucked up, but I wouldn't have a problem with that. Because people voted like they were mad this year.
They came out in droves. The numbers went up.
And I don't trust Americans to keep that same energy. It's almost like they need to be going through a crisis. You know, it's the financial crisis of 2008 that got Obama elected.
Yep. And that's why I will continue to say this country does not change, and we do not vote for any Democrat, like particularly in the higher offices, unless we're on the verge of suffering or economic collapse or something like that.
Biden, we got the COVID and financial stuff after that
right.
too.
It takes suffering for people to act like they got goddamn sense, like for a lot of people.
And it doesn't really matter what happens, because like I said, I don't know how savvy people are at following these things, because like Greg just said, Chuck and Hakeem are done. Hakeem Jeffries kept 100% of his people in line. So why would Hakeem Jeffries be done in this moment? Like, explain that to me. And I've seen multiple people say this, but it's just like, there's this thing that's happening where people just say shit. Like and this is why I try to stay off the internet with it, because it's an internet peer pressure. And that's why I say, like, the politics is kind of this weird mean girl shit that people are disguising as politics. But it's not really politics. It's just you being like a nihilist troll. You know what? This is gonna be one of these weird episodes, because I'm doing a lot of talking, but it's making me think of some other shit. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna bring it back, but this nihilistic approach to politics that people are taking online, I was talking to a friend, and do you know the rapper Max B? Do you remember him at all? Probably not.
That was years ago.
So Max B just got out of prison like 2 days ago.
Okay.
He went to prison for his role in a robbery where a man was murdered. It was like 17 years ago. Ooh. And the internet used to be like, yeah, we have like Max B, wavy movement, free Max B, and it took on a legend of its own. Like he became, the Michael Jordan that never got the Len Bias of rap, basically. Like, he would have been the greatest, but he went to prison. And that was the first time I ever saw people say free somebody that they didn't think was necessarily innocent 100%.
Right.
Like, some people were making the case of like, no, he's innocent. But there were a lot of people that was like, man, fuck if he innocent or not. Like, this music and this, and it wasn't necessarily the music, but the online movement, the camaraderie, the trolling, and it became like a calling card on like some of the message boards I was on. Free Max B, free Max B, and I was a little bit confused by it at the time, but I didn't really understand it, but it was kind of on the cutting edge of where social media is now. In a way, I related to the movement that was like abolish the police. Because there's a nihilism in not needing to have the solution, but being upset at the problem. And I think everyone, only place we can all agree at this point is that we're upset at a problem. But when you go, okay, so here's how we solve it, people are either like, I'm just tired of that, or it doesn't make me feel special enough, or it doesn't go far enough, whatever. You can never go too far with the solution. So you go to a place that says abolish the police. Now, abolish the police was mostly an online sentiment, meaning people who do community work in communities that especially with black folks that have to deal with police, the things they advocate for are typically not, we don't even want any police officers. It's typically, look, we want non-biased and we want this, and look, those things may not work, whatever, but still, that's normally what the people in the community think they want. And the internet can skip steps, right? So on social media, I'm not really speaking for the community, I'm speaking for my account myself. So I don't actually need to go to the community to convince the community that this is what we need. I don't actually need to leave my house. I can call myself a community organizer without physically doing anything.
Right.
If I want to. There's people all the time that do it. And so the solution becomes more of a theory that doesn't need to be practiced, and the adherence to the theory becomes the way that you measure a person's value. So if I say abolish the police and you say anything other than like hell yeah, it's like, oh no, you're not really down for no real solution.
Right. And yeah, and
I'm the only real hero here. I'm the savior.
Right. Because they have to feel special, they have to feel unique, they have to stand out. And this is something that we talked about, because I remember when that first came up, we used to play podcasts, and I would go off, I'm like, the fuck they talking about? Like, this shit don't make no sense.
And so we knew before this started that we knew when the election happened last year, Democrats were not going to have the House, the Senate, or the presidency, and not SCOTUS either, which I always mention. So we know that they only really were going to have like a lot of symbolic things they could do. They weren't going to have actual like tangible leverage for the most part. And because of that, and because they're the only ones who are trying to govern the country and the other parties trying to destroy it, they end up getting twice the responsibility because we give no responsibility to these Republicans. So it's like, you need to find a way to make 40 people enough, or you got 48, make 48 enough. And in this one area, you can kind of make it enough. You know, you can be like, well, we won't do anything and you guys won't get 60. But then the people suffer. And you're also the only party that's going to care about the people suffering. And as those numbers get bigger and bigger, less and less people kind of care about the symbolic victory.
Yep.
Those of us in some very kind of, you know, in some privileged situations, we can care about the symbolism of it solely and be like, well, look, man, like I'm hurting, but I'm not SNAP benefit hurting. So I know I'm going to eat this week. Keep it going. Y'all better not break. You know, it's easy for me to say, and I have to say that as part of the privilege that we exist in, because when you look at it that way, it's free Max B. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't care that he murdered a person. I'm not that person. I just care about this guy and the community online we built around saying to free him, right? So I kind of feel like that's a big driver of the disconnect between like the people who are like, I'm just mad we didn't win this symbolic victory, because extending those stipends for healthcare, for Affordable Care Act, they would have been obviously better than not, but it also wasn't, it wouldn't have stopped the Republicans and the things they were trying to do in this. And like another thing, so there's things they got out of this that we don't discuss, like because Trump and them were like, we're not paying any federal workers back pay, fuck them, and so they got them to agree to do that. But because that has happened in every other government opening, people act like it wasn't on the table to not happen. That's the kind of thing I'm like, oh, we're still treating this like normal. I don't put it past the Republicans that they were not going to pay those people.
Yeah, and you know, normally you have to bring them back into the workfold. Like, you know, they were firing people, they suing them over that. They was like, y'all can't fire these people.
Yeah, they got the people, I think they got the people from being fired back too. Like, anyway, my point being, there's two ways to look at it. There's a cynical way and I'll be honest, I think the cynical one appeals to me more, but I won't ever be able to know the truth for real. But I think they used this pain to fuel the midterm, the off-cycle election. So they got the blue wave that they wanted, and I think that's why this thing really comes to an end now instead of, you know, December, January next year. I think they were like, okay, we did enough. All the votes have been counted. All the blue, like the Republicans didn't rig this. They didn't steal anything. Let's just take our wins, get back to work with and when we swear everybody in next year, we'll have a little bit more people in office than we had before. I'm guessing that's the only thing that can make sense to me, because everything else is just kind of like, I mean, and look, maybe they just were like, we're centrist and we're bitches, but I don't know. That one just feels like, then why would they have even held out throughout the election? You know, you rip the Band-Aid off and just agree right away, let people keep being mad at you, and then you probably don't get a blue wave or whatever. But I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I'm sorry, that was a lot. Go ahead.
No problem. I think for me, my thoughts about this, they're mixed and they're all over the place. Mm-hmm. And the biggest reason why they're all over the place is I don't like the suffering. I don't like the government shutdown. I don't like the cruelty of it. I don't like any of it, you know, but I am realistic, and I do understand why they held out. And, you know, it's a lot of people, I feel like they saying shit just to say shit when it comes to this. And for a lot of people, there's no compassion and there's no empathy, no understanding to like all of the parts that are actually being like rolling around. And there are people that are actually being directly impacted by this. Like people have missed like 2 paychecks already, you know, possibly going, you know, if it continued on, going on the 3rd. And so bills don't stop. And so it, to me, is, like I said, it's a mixed feelings, because I don't want to see the suffering. Right. I don't want to see the things that's happening, but also, you know, deep in my heart, I'm like, well, if y'all want this shit to run, bitch, vote for it and run it. Like, y'all really don't need us. Yes, that's my biggest thing. Yeah. You don't.
Well, they would have to get rid of the filibuster to do that, and then there's a whole nother thing that people are worried about on both sides of that one. Republicans keep. I think the reason the Republicans don't want to get rid of the filibuster is because it's a built-in excuse. It's the only excuse they have to not just do what Trump tells them to do. Like, I think they're relying on that. They because the fear has always been for Democrats, we don't get rid of filibuster because Republicans will fucking get in power. They'll get all 3 branches and then they'll just erase all our rights. They could do that. Mm-hmm. They actually could just be like, we're doing that. Fuck it. And I think the only reason they don't is because because I saw some of them use this excuse against Trump this year. Like, oh, well, we can't get rid of the filibuster because I was like, oh, they don't want, this is the only line they have left. And who knows how long that'll last. But this the only line they got left is, because last time they'd be like, well, we don't have the House, we have the Senate. So, you know, Trump, we can't do everything you want. This time it's like, y'all my bitches, just do what I want. Mm-hmm. The other thing, too, is, like I said, people aren't counting it as getting anything, but I do think reversing those layoffs, and also they've restricted future cuts until the end of January for the next. So all that stuff like Doge, all that shit they were just cutting out the budget and being like, fuck all these people, it restricts those cuts. But I don't know, it's not something I think people are gonna feel good about, but no. I think now is the time to let people not feel good. Like low-key, all these people that are saying shit like the fucking Democrats, they fucked up the momentum. Guys, y'all can't do shit till next November for the most part. Most of y'all ain't gonna do shit till next November. Mm-mm. Now you could start primarying some motherfuckers if y'all mad. I would like that.
If y'all mad,
I would like that. There's 8 motherfuckers volunteering for it. I'm just saying, if y'all think y'all can get somebody together better, I would love to see it.
Go take them seats.
But but in general, if you're going to give a womp womp, this is the time I would do the womp womp, because by the time November comes back around, Republicans would have done another year of bullshit and people will probably be mad again. And I think you have to take a lesson from Republicans, which is that people don't seem to have long memories.
They don't.
People don't really seem to have a lot of forethought. If that was the case, Kamala Harris would have won.
They don't. And the biggest reason why I feel like that is because, I don't know, maybe it's something personal within me, but I never forgot how I felt when he first got in office, and that's a heartbreak and a pain that will live with me for the rest of my life. And because of that, I'm very adamant, and you can't change my mind. I'm flat-footed, 10 toes down, whatever the fuck you want to say. I'm like, fuck that nigga, fuck him, and I will say it every day, and I'm adamant about it. No, and so it's one of them things. I'm like, no, we're not bending. No, we're not breaking. Y'all do what y'all supposed to do. Y'all stand up there. No, y'all ain't got the numbers. Hold out, and shit like that. Like that's why I say it's mixed feelings, because for me, I'm like, oh, motherfucking hold out, like as long as you can.
And you're not connected to it directly,
right? So
it's easy to do it. It's like rooting for a basketball team or some shit. Right. You're not on the court, so it's like, y'all look, if them people don't eat, fuck it, make them people eat, which relies on, at some point, Republicans saying we have to go feed people who are on SNAP,
and they don't care, and that's the problem.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Like, but once again, we make the Democrats who don't have the numbers responsible for both sides of it.
Yes.
It's just a thankless thing, and I think it adds to the negative momentum on social media against Democrats, but honestly, I don't think it matters. I think online shit matters more to people who are online all the time. I think in real life, there's a lot of people who are like, glad I'm able to go back to work. No, this doesn't mean everything is all good. No, this doesn't mean I fuck with Republicans or what this means is that I will never forget the 40 days of hunger or the 40 days of worried about my next rent. I'll never forget it. And like I said, I think what I'm saying, some people may think it's making an excuse, but I'm like, I think they may have done a thing that is very callous to great effect and got a blue wave out of people. And if that's the case, that was all. Everyone keeps going, they are going to get these subsidies. I think the real thing they got was the wave.
Yes, and
I don't think the like maybe they could have got the subsidies if they held out another however long. I don't know how long Republicans would let this go, but
but you can't.
Maybe they were 30 days, maybe they were 3 days. Everyone who's upset is acting like tomorrow that everything was going to cave and the Republicans were going to come in and work with them. I don't know that. Mike Johnson feels like a guy who's like, I was glad to not have to do work. Like, anything to keep me from swearing in that one lady so we can get the Epstein files.
She been waiting forever. Like they was like, nah, dog. Like we go home and we say I'll let y'all later.
Yes, and I think, like, I know it. Like, I'm not accusing you of this, but I'm saying, and because I think it's a genuine feeling, and I share it too. But the reason you haven't heard me on here ranting about they need to keep that is because I think it does sound callous. I think it does sound like your house is on fire, but I'm up the hill, and I'm like, man, y'all better let that motherfucking shit burn.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want people listening to this show hearing that.
Right.
I don't want people thinking that, we just are heartless against all these people because, like, you're just political pawns and your ass getting pawned. That being said, I think they kind of did get used as political pawns, and I think the difference is, instead of continuing to use them, let's say it would have went to all the way to Christmas or past, and like every airport would have been shut down, all that stuff. Let's say Democrats would have been waiting for Republicans to blink. I do think there is a point in America where they turn on the Democrats either way, because I don't think people don't really, they talk a good game, but none of us, because once it was the flight, I made a joke, but I was serious on Twitter. I said, when Americans will care when your sports team stop being able to arrive at venues because the FAA is shut down.
Yep.
And I was serious, because I was like, that's the bread and circuses that we love. That would, if they cancel the Ball Brothers tour, because those of us that have the time and the privilege and the money to be able to experience those things, or the connections in my case, to be able to experience those things, now we losing something.
Right.
But SNAP benefit, I don't feel like I'm losing something. I'm still able to do certain things. And so I see a certain type of political discussion online from black people that a lot of times aren't necessarily directly connected to this, or just people in general, and it like you said, I feel two ways, because I look at them and I'll be like, damn, you don't see how that sound a little cold for you too, to be like, no, let
you don't
you're just making this will make the Republicans be responsible. It's like, guys, after 40 days of no food and money, I think people know.
Right. And like I said, because we're talking, I'm telling the truth. For me, it's a mixed bag of emotion, because I don't want to see people suffer, but also I'm like,
I think people can relate to us saying this. Like, I think more people relate to us talking about it this way than if we were on here ranting one way or the other. Right. Because I've also seen the other side. Let me be fair. The people that are like, and the Democrats did it perfect, and y'all need to shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not this is not basketball arguments of if LeBron's better than Jordan. Like, real shit is happening. Whatever side of this thing you're on, if you're a progressive, liberal leaning person, there can't be, in my opinion, any way you feel 100% okay with people suffering, and you could say they got nothing for suffering, but I think getting the jobs back and all that shit in this administration is something. But let's say you say they got
stuff wasn't promised.
Let's say you got they got nothing for suffering, and if you looked up and said how much more suffering would they need to do to get quote unquote something, and you look down the barrel of that gun and realize ain't no end.
No.
What's the moral thing to do then?
Right. Eventually there was going to be a concession, and like I said, and I understand like that piece. Like I'm not being so unrealistic about it. Mm-hmm. It's just, for me, it was just frustrating, mm-hmm. and it's upsetting, and this is how I truly feel about it. A lot of the people that were impacted by this were a lot of people that voted for this. There were a lot of people that voted for Trump to cut shit, defund shit, lay off people. Like they voted for this, and now they're feeling the consequences of their choices. And so now they're people who would have never voted Republicans are all of a sudden running in there, and they pulling that lever because they are directly being impacted by the choices of their decisions.
Because places that went less blue for Kamala went more blue in this election.
Because they mad.
Because and so that's why I said, I don't want to sound like a horrible person, but I think it was mission accomplished in that I believe that only happened because of government shutdown.
I agree.
Maybe people will say, no, these people are fed up. I think we've seen too much of Trump to assume people got morally fed up at anything he did.
Right.
I think there's a ton of people who've been like, I just think I'm gonna be all right.
Yep.
And Trump allows me to hate the people that I want to hate. And because of my skin color or where I live, I feel like I'm gonna be all right. And I think that percentage isn't necessarily a huge percentage, but enough of those people went over blue this last time because I think they actually said, I don't think I'm gonna be all right. And the Democrats aren't letting the government get back to work. Then I guess I'm just gonna have to vote Democrats in because we need more of that to get the government back working. That's my theory. I don't have anything to prove that. That's all vibes. But I'm just looking at these numbers and the results, and my cynical take is I think they knew they weren't going to get those Affordable Care Act subsidies, and they said, okay, we're going to just make people suffer till we get some more seats, and then after the election is over, we can stop pretending that we're going to not keep the government open and let people be mad at us. But they'll have Christmas presents, and they'll have,
and the economy will start running again.
And we'll have until January is the next one, but we'll have many, many, many more months of Trump and his cronies doing horrible shit.
Yes, we will.
So that we believe that by next November you'll still be mad and you'll be more mad at them than mad at us over this. That's my guess.
Yeah, and for me, it's also, one of the things when I look at this, and I will continue to say this, a lot of what we have and a lot of the situations that we're in lays at the feet of the populace, and the populace in totality doesn't want to take responsibility for the group project that they failed.
Yeah. I saw somebody, I was looking up, I didn't watch the whole thing, it was videos, someone saying like how, everyone that doesn't fuck with Kamala Harris isn't necessarily sexist or racist or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's obvious, right? Like, there's people that didn't fuck with Biden, there's people that didn't fuck with Obama, there's people that wouldn't fuck with Hillary Clinton. But the racist, sexist, homophobic people that make the margins work in this country, the people that have those hangups but won't admit to them, they didn't vote for her. And you can tell from the numbers, because the other choice was Trump, and there's no argument against that. You could say any critique of her you want, there will be no argument where you were like, and Trump was better on this policy, which is why we were either voting for him or okay with him winning. No, you're not a good person if you are okay with Trump winning.
Right.
Even to spite Kamala.
Right.
You're just not a good person, or you make bad decisions. But I don't have to sit up here and pretend like we got into this shit because, well, hey, your emotions are valid and that's what this is all about. I don't give a fuck about your emotions. Look at the hell we're in right now.
Mm-hmm. And the suffering that people are dealing with.
Yeah. I'm the most pragmatic person when it comes to these fucking politicians. They're not celebrities to me. They're beholden to all of us.
Right.
But I'm pragmatic, meaning if one party's decided to take my rights and the other one's like, I'll protect your rights, but I won't get every single issue on the same. I'm going with that one. It was not a hard decision. This was the easiest fucking layup we ever had.
Right.
When it comes to voting, and we fucking blew it, and that's why we're all mad, and that's why we're here pretending that it's really about, the Democrats, whatever. I hope people do keep that same energy. I hope this fuels people to try to make, to get a more left leaning person in these people's spots. But you want to know the truth, it probably won't, because more than likely all these people are in districts where they're either safe or the only other alternative is some shitty Republican that's way worse than on the issues than they are. If we had more Democrats, we'd have a better country. That's really the only way it's ever worked.
Yep.
Because then you see sometimes the peer pressure go the other way. Then you see people that do shit where like they know that they can negotiate with Obama or with Biden or with whoever, and they'll be like, okay, yeah, well, give me this for West Virginia and I'll go ahead and vote for this thing. That can't even happen under Trump. Like that's why I think that's why people are so symbolically mad. It's like, well, what are you really getting? We don't even have a thing we can tally on the board as a win, because it just feels like only thing y'all fought for was to get back the shit that we shouldn't have lost.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, that's the new normal, y'all. This is what happened when you let the country go this right. Winning, quote unquote, is mitigating harm. It ain't no winning.
And honestly, it's something that should have never been taken from us in the first place.
Yeah.
It's something that we had, and the thing is, for me, I want results and I want to win, but I'm not crazy, so I try to, like I said, I stay in reality. And a lot of times, like I said, in reality is that I have a lot of mixed feelings and mixed emotions, but at the same time, it's still one of those things where I want results and I want us to win. So great, I'm glad y'all was out there. Keep this momentum up, and guess what? It's gonna matter next year, and then it's gonna matter when it's time to vote for president again. Like these are the things that actually matter to me more than anything else. Because I'm not trying to find it. I feel like a lot of the other shit, you're just wasting my time. Get your ass to the polls and vote. Anything else up to that point, what are you talking about? What are you doing? You're just arguing and you're just debating for debate's sake, because I already know who, and I guess because I'm so resolute in who I'm going to vote for, just go through your primaries, whatever you got to do, put the person up there, and then I will decide, okay, which Democrat is the best Democrat for the position. Like to me, I'm like, let's get to the results. And I know that's not realistic, because I realize, and it might be the generation I'm born in, a lot of people, they love to be catered to, and they love for you to make them feel good, make them feel great, be all about their feelings, be all about their emotions, make them feel excited to vote, and I'm like, fuck that, bitch. Do your goddamn job. I ain't got to feel good about the shit. I want results. And so, but I understand those people are part of the tent. And so you got to cater to these people who cry about their emotions and their feelings, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have these things too. But there come a point where, bitch, fuck your feelings. It's time to vote.
All right. Well, sounds like good and mad over there. So that's the end of that segment. Let's go do some cookout. Welcome to the cookout. Welcome to the cookout. All right, Cookout. It's when we invite people to the fictional black cookout for doing stuff for the community and whatnot. Now, this one I believe was sent to me.
Okay.
This is someone sent me this on Instagram, this reel or something, and it's called Black Events by Lizzie. Okay. So we're gonna watch it together.
Kings and queens, are you looking to throw a melanated gathering and keep it 100? I do it all. Black Events by Lizzie. That's me. If the event is black, I've got your back. I do cookout, kickbacks, repasses, and more. We answer questions like, who all gonna be there? No, cousin Ronnie, the black Israelite, will not be there. So there will be pork. Questions like, who cooked the food? I did. I'm not just invited to the cookout, I am the cookout, bitch. And lastly, where them fans at? Sign up for my extra black package and I'll also lead line dances and prayers. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Amen. Won't he do it? Consultations are free, but my services are not. Because what I'm not gonna do is work for free. Black Events by Lizzie.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Lizzie's going to the cookout, guys. I don't think.
No, Lizzie not coming to the cookout, but that is fucking hilarious. You do need a service like that.
Whoever
wrote black ran, but you do need a service like that.
Whoever wrote that for that actress to read is probably a cookout attendee.
Yes,
because they knew some things. That kickback, I was like, kickbacks. What does Lizzie know about kickbacks? So I do feel like maybe that person's going to a cookout, but Lizzie was not giving me the vibes of a cookout attendee, if I'm being honest with y'all.
No, she's not. She's not an attendee. She gonna be outside in the parking lot.
Yeah, it didn't feel like something about that felt a little off to you, boy.
No, she is not invited.
Yeah, I don't really trust. She's like, the black Israelite? I was like, she know. She didn't say Hotep though, which is kind of interesting too. I wonder who wrote that.
Who wrote that?
Anyway, all right, let's move into another segment. Let's see, what can we do? Let me see what articles I have today. Oh yeah, I guess we can do some white people news. That's light and white, and we love that.
White people news, we're bringing egg salad to the barbecue. We might be problematic or a little bit dim. That sounds really harsh on our fragile big skin. It's white people news.
Oh, white people news. It's making the rounds. I'll tell you who's back. Kim Kardashian is back.
Okay, I didn't know she went away.
Yeah, I feel like she got like a TV show she's promoting that's getting panned everywhere. It's from Ryan Murphy. And from my understanding, it's not like American Crime Story, which is I love. It's more like his I'm sorry, Miss Martin, and I'm sorry, but it's like that horror show that he did that I hate.
American Horror Story? Yeah,
I hate that show. I can't understand it. It's crazy.
It's confusing.
It don't make no fucking sense.
That show is so confusing. I
don't get it,
y'all. I watched that show and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, it's crazy he can make both of those shows. Like you can make like the OJ show,
which was great,
at Versace, but then you be making this shit and I'll be like, how does your brain even work? Anyway,
yeah,
sorry.
a lot of people love that series. That series has been on forever.
Yeah, I don't get it, but it's all good. But it's called All's Fair, and apparently it fucking sucks. It got like horrible ratings and all this shit. So Kim K's back in the news for the TV show, and then she started doing stuff on social media to get her name buzzing, so people go watch the show. And she probably don't care if people hate it or not. Like it don't really matter.
Yeah, she got her money.
So she failed the bar exam. That became news.
Okay.
And
that shit hard.
And apparently, in a TikTok recap of her mother Kris Jenner's 70th birthday extravaganza, she went off on the psychics who told her she was gonna pass the bar exam and become a lawyer. All of the fucking psychics that we have met with and that we're obsessed with, all are fucking full of shit, she said. She told someone on the phone that she gets her hair and makeup done for the soiree. They are collectively, maybe 4 of them have told me I was going to pass the bar. So they're full pathological liars. Don't believe anything they say. Here's my question. Man, why you got 4? Why you got more than 4 psychics? What are you even doing?
Yeah, what are we doing here? A lot of people don't pass their first time.
Well, she did. This is like her second time, but it don't matter. It don't matter whether they pass or not. The point is, how the fuck a psychic gonna tell you they're a psychic, man? Did you give them money? I'll be a psychic. You give me the money, and guess what? You gonna pass the bar exam, and you gonna get married to the prince of your dreams, and you gonna have great singing career. What do you want?
I see you, Miss Cleo.
For the money, okay. Call me now. I'll make that shit work. Okay, I don't give a fuck. But yeah. So she said that she's not a lawyer. She plays a well-dressed one on TV, referring to her TV show All's Fair that people hate. But you knew Ryan Murphy was like falling in love with this type of stunt casting shit because he put her in one of American Horror Stories or something. I think he's had work with Lady Gaga before.
Yeah, I remember Lady Gaga because that was a big thing.
Yeah, and then recently he put Travis Kelce in one of his shows. I was like, anytime Ryan Murphy does stunt casting, I'm out. I realized what the trend now. Anytime it's like, we got actors and then we also have a basketball player, I'm like, yeah, you didn't care about this one. Because he don't be doing that shit with his other shows. Like, he don't have just like Grant Hill as a lawyer in the American Crime Story O.J. Simpson. He wouldn't do that.
No, they was acting in
yeah, he went and got real actors for that shit. It's because he gave a fuck.
Right.
But when he just be like, oh, you know what would be funny? What if Cher was the aunt? Like, nah, dog, you didn't care. You didn't even write them scripts. You the Tyler Perry of white people when you do that shit. Like, you didn't. That's AI. But also, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry went to the 70th birthday party of Kris Jenner.
Okay.
But then scandal ensued because their pictures were all deleted from the Instagram. The pictures were done. I don't know if that's got something to do with royal stuff. I don't know why the pictures would be taken back, right. But they did go. Meghan Markle back, by the way. Her and Harry, they out walking around doing stuff again. Been a minute. They just kind of disappeared, and then I don't know if they got like a TV show or something. Maybe the money from that Spotify deal ran out because I know they had that big ass deal. Maybe they was like, you know what, girl, we gotta get back out here and show some leg. Okay, Archie is motherfucking eating us out of house or home.
Right.
But yeah, they deleted photos with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry from the party, and I don't know.
What's the reason why? Yeah.
Yeah, that's some elite white people probably listening right now. Like, come on, Rod and Karen, you know why?
I have no idea, baby.
It's the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Jesus, look something up.
Get it together over there.
Yeah.
Buckaroos.
Right along. I can't believe that's not white people news. That's just news. No, it's white people news, guys. It is. It's the royals. I don't care if Meghan Markle's black. Y'all know this white people news. But yeah, so they deleted it, and I don't know why. What's interesting is that there were photos of them from like press events and stuff like that in other publications. So like, we know they was there, we know what they had on, but for some reason, just I don't know.
Yeah, people keep a track of shit like that.
White people, man, they crazy, man, they different.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney screams at ex-fiance after sneaking into his car. Huh?
Why you screaming at me? You snuck into my car.
I don't know. I know her movie bombed.
It did. Yeah, we talked about how them supporters with you and them jeans didn't take their asses to support your movie.
They ain't get their ass out their seats. They probably ain't buy them jeans either. They just be happy somebody mad about something, but they don't buy shit.
They don't.
But yeah, she had just enjoyed a private meal with friends at Giorgio Baldi in Santa Monica, dining in one of the restaurant's back rooms, watching Game 7 of the World Series between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. The source claims the atmosphere inside the private dining space was intimate and relaxed on Saturday night, adding that the actress appeared to be in great spirits as she chatted and laughed between innings. After her meal, she made a low-key exit, hopping in an Uber-style black car that reportedly drove only a few blocks. Minutes later, she was seen quietly transferring into another vehicle driven by Davino, 42. Photographs captured the two-time Emmy nominee ducking down the passenger seat with Davino behind the wheel, but their apparent amiability seemed short-lived. TMZ reported that at one point the star screamed, "I don't believe you, please leave me alone." For the late night outing on Saturday, she put on a legged display in blue shorts paired with dark brown knee-high boots, an oversized brown leather jacket, a tan designer handbag. Don't worry, guys, I'm going to show you the picture. I know this is the only part we care about.
Yes, that's the only thing I care about.
Yeah, this the handbag with the leather and the glasses and all that stuff.
Hope she was warm. I don't know what the temperature was.
The sighting comes amid ongoing rumors that she has been dating Scooter Braun. Ooh. Sweeney and Davino, Scooter Braun, he's somebody in music.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is somebody.
Yeah, like he's somebody big time. I forget what he do. Let me Google his name.
You gonna name some shit? I'm like, I heard that dude before.
Oh, he's an American record executive. He's an American investor, record executive, and entrepreneur. Managed a career as a young stars like Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande. Yeah. Okay. I feel like he had some Me Too shit or something. 2019 acquisition of Big Machine Records. Oh, he's the dude that's beefing with Taylor Swift. Yeah. Okay. I remember this guy. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, she screamed at her ex, and then that was news for white folks. Apparently. While the government was shut down, it was like, but this is important.
This is very important.
I understand people are on Snap, they're not eating, but what is going on with Sydney Sweeney right now?
Right.
Jennifer Lawrence says she and Robert Pattinson, that's the new Batman. Jennifer Lawrence is actress. She played Mystique in the new X-Men movies.
Yep, and she played that trilogy.
The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Katniss Everdeen.
Yes.
So apparently she has a movie called Die My Love, co-starring Robert Pattinson, and she recently did an appearance on La Culturista's podcast, and she told the host Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers that she didn't really need an intimacy coordinator on the set. We did dance lessons together, which was like team building exercises. In the end, it ended up being more helpful just for choreography of sex scenes and fighting scenes. Asked if the production had an intimacy coordinator, Lawrence was unsure, but explained she didn't feel the need to call upon one while working through the film's sex scenes with Pattinson. We did not have one, or maybe we did, but we didn't really. I felt really safe with him. He's not pervy, and he's very in love with his partner, Sookie Waterhouse. We mostly were talking about our kids and relationships, so there wasn't any weird, like, does he think I like him? She added, if there was a little bit of that, I would probably have an intimacy coordinator. A lot of male actors get offended if you don't want to fuck them, and then the punishment starts, but he was not like that, for the record. I hate to be like this.
Okay. This is why you need one on site. Not trying to find you an actor. Don't give a fuck about that. Like, my job is to protect, because this is you. But what happened if I get somebody that's not you, that would prefer one there?
Yeah.
And for the fact that she didn't know, that's not good. Like, you should know if there's one on site.
Let me tell you what we see in Karen. Okay. This is a white woman's way of letting us know that we're gonna see full frontal. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
This is her way of saying, like, if you want to see my titties again, this the one.
Yeah, that's all. I
feel like a lot of the starlets are doing this now, And I think maybe it's an overcorrection from the Me Too uptightness where like
cause they feel like
people were like there shouldn't even be sex scenes in movies. They serve no purpose. And it's like, okay, well you guys
about took them all out and you're like, okay, everybody not asexual, y'all.
And I've noticed this trend for a while now. When these actresses go out and they've been in one of these sexy type movies, they are so like it's beyond sex positive. It's almost it's like they are basically telling the audience like it was all my idea. I remember Oppenheimer was like that. I think it was Florence Pugh, and Florence Pugh is very like open with her body, artistic, all that. She doesn't care. She thinks America's too uptight. But I'm just saying, in every interview, she was like aggressively like, yes, and I wanted to be naked in that, and it made sense for my character to be naked in that scene. He needed to see them titties at that point in time in the plot. And I'm like, oh, this is like the way of getting around it, because you can't have the men saying this. Like there was a time when you would do a late night show and you had a man on from the Sexy Thriller. It's like, what was it like working with Florence Pugh? And it sounds real pervy and weird. And so they've gotten the PR right on this, I think, which is the women are the ones like, I wanted him to fuck me. I didn't give a fuck. And then the men,
I was in control.
Right. Yeah. This is my dream. And then the men have to come out and be like, listen, I'm a gentleman. Okay. We were very professional.
I would never do anything she don't want me to do.
Right. I think that's the correction. That's the moment we're living in, because there's multiple of these. Like all the time we see them now. I don't know why I think they should calm down a little bit, because it makes it seem like intimacy coordinators is like it's almost like the argument that the men who are against the Me Too movement were making.
Right. Like, what's their purpose? You're like, they do have a purpose, bitch.
Right. And like,
because what happened if it does get out of control?
And when you're promoting the movie, you're definitely not going to say it.
Right.
When you're promoting the movie, you're not going to be, that's not the time where you're going to be like, thank God there was an intimacy coordinator. This motherfucker Harrison Ford was all over me. I said, God damn, bro. So the only thing we're ever going to hear is you don't need them. And that's going too far. You should just calm down a little bit.
Yes, calm down. There has to be a middle ground. I'd rather have one there and go, okay, we didn't need you as much as we thought we did, than not to have one there. Something goes horribly wrong, and then guess what? You're going to be suing the studio for not protecting you.
Speaking of suing, Marvel star Jeremy Renner threatens to call ICE on filmmaking partner.
Oh no!
Took that Hawkeye turn in Endgame a little far, didn't he? Marvel star Jeremy Renner has been accused of threatening to call ICE on his filmmaking partner after she allegedly called him out about his past misconduct and asked him to behave properly. Chinese film director Yi Zhao, 37, has shared serious allegations against the Hawkeye star, 54, in a series of Instagram posts. She invited Jeremy to be part of her documentary Chronicles of Disney, the AI animated feature Stardust Future this year. Okay.
All right, that's a wild name. What's happening here?
This already sounds extremely sketchy. Has anyone heard of the AI animated feature Stardust Future? That's
first time I heard about it is when you just spoke it.
Yeah, and I think people are probably gonna be pretty pissed that if it's AI animated, but I guess we'll see. He claimed that she claimed he sent her unsolicited pornographic images earlier this year, and that when she confronted him about his behavior, she was left deeply shocked and frightened as he allegedly threatened to call immigration officers on her. But that's some Clint Barton ass shit to do. She also claimed he refused to support their joint projects publicly and alleged that the pair dated, but he denied their relationship. It is with deep regret, sadness, and disappointment that I am compelled to share a truth I've been holding inside for too long, she wrote. It comes as the next Alligator Alcatraz-style immigration center opens up in surprising location with a terrifying new name. Okay, that's just a link to another article y'all wrote. Nice try, Irish Star.
Right.
Over the past month, I have lived with the fear for my safety and deep distress over the treatment I've endured. No woman filmmaker or creative should have to work under such emotional, psychological pressure. While trying to protect her name and integrity of her work, I'm making an appeal to my fellow filmmakers, Academy voters, Hollywood peers, executives, and women to stand with me. I feel profound despair that a project project created to uplift below-the-line artists at Chronicles of Disney and to celebrate the history of one of the world's most beloved companies. Disney has been damaged by online trolling and by misconduct of Jeremy Renner. Mr. Renner first contacted me directly in June, sending personal and intimate photographs of himself, behavior that, according to public reports, he has exhibited before. He convinced me of his sincerity, saying he had been single for a long time and open to a long-term relationship. I believed in him, in the power of love, and in the possibility of redemption. Damn, she wrote, I see why she's making movies. She's poetic. When I called him out privately about his past misconduct to ask him to behave properly, to respect me as a woman and a filmmaker, he threatened to call immigration/ICE on me, an act that deeply shocked and frightened me. Such behavior is unacceptable and emblematic of the imbalance of power that continues to harm women in our industry. In a separate Instagram post, she claimed that she received 2 photos of Jeremy and then a string of unwanted, unsolicited pornographic images of himself, and said that after having conversations, he allegedly convinced her that he was looking for a relationship. However, she claimed that she then went through the most difficult months while also running 2 projects, which she invited him to take part in. But she said he set up a smear fans campaign. This is interesting. I've never heard this woman, but maybe, I don't know. This is going to be crazy to see what happens in court and if this catches on. She wrote, "This is alarming to know in Hollywood you can still act in such a manner. I'm worried for other women who will be victims and might have been victims being used as a sexual object, abused and destroyed in such a manner. Hollywood hides these men in bad." Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out. This is a hell of an accusation. The Marvel star was previously accused of abusive behavior by his ex-wife, Sonny Pacheco, who claimed during their custody battle for their daughter Ava in 2019 that he had threatened to kill her and himself. Earlier this year, he denied the allegations, which he described as clickbait, and said it hurts my feelings and it dehumanizes people. So, I don't know.
We will see.
White people news got dark with that one.
It
but
did,
listen,
didn't it?
Hawkeye's big white people.
Yeah.
You got to know about what's going on with Hawkeye. When you go to the movies and you be like, man, they need to go ahead and let Kate Bishop be the real Hawkeye. Now you see why.
Yeah, you see why people have been pushing that.
Yeah. Last one. Florence Pugh says intimacy coordinating is a job that's still figuring itself out and recalls both positive and negative experiences. I'm telling you, this is what the white feminism is doing right now. This is their moment. I think white women find access to sex and sex appeal as a more liberating space, and less of a like, I'm stuck here, like, not that white women can't be sexualized, but black and brown women deal with this like stigma of like everything you do sexualized. Just existing is like, yeah, I own you and I want you.
Everything is almost over sexualized.
Yeah, yes. You there because you're wild and untamed and exotic. You actually can't be respected as a woman.
Right.
Whereas I think white women have been seen as like this genteel, in a box type of way, and they're acting out as, no, I can have an OnlyFans. I can fuck whoever I want to. Not saying either one's right or wrong, but I think that's why there's such a disconnect between like the white feminism, sexual liberation type movement. Anyway, she's went on the Louis Theroux podcast to discuss how she has had both positive and negative experiences. It's not to get in the way. It's not to confuse. It's not to make things more complicated and make things more awkward. The Thunderbolt star explained. It's simply to make sure that everyone is happy with what they're creating, and also that you're creating things that have meaning to them. I've had good ones and bad ones. I did a lot of sex scenes before that was even a job. And I think I'm quite confident and quite happy in my skin. And I've always been able to make sure that I'm heard. That being said, there are plenty of things that I remember where it was just completely inappropriate to have asked me to do that, to have directed me in that way. Ultimately, the We Live in a Time actress said the relatively new title is still working through its kinks. But my view is changing about it as well, because I'm now having fantastic experiences with intimacy coordinators. Okay, shout out to her. She a good egg, man. I like her. I always have.
Yeah, and they probably, you're dealing with different people that are all not the same. And then when we had the intimacy coordinator on our show, they were even saying, hey, some of them let that shit get to their head, and they were like fuck up production and all that shit. So there has to be a balance.
Good and bad,
right?
And also, it sounds like her bad experiences were with intimacy coordinators that weren't stepping in to do their job. It doesn't sound like she's saying they fucked up the scene. She sounds like she's saying the lack of their involvement made me feel like you're not doing a good job.
Right. And also with that, like she said, it's a growing process because what's the training, what's the guidelines, what are the rules and regulations? Like it's a lot that they're probably working on to get standards for these types of things.
Plus she's also like a star now, so like the stuff she wants to do is probably a lot more like her agency is more accentuated compared to when you're up and coming and it's like you need this job toots or whatever.
Right.
However, that being said, I've also had a shit example where someone just made it so weird, so awkward, it really wasn't helpful, and kind of just like wanted to be a part of the set in a way that wasn't helpful. And I think it's a job to still figuring itself out. So she said, when I worked with a fantastic coordinator, I was like, oh, this is what I've been missing, understanding the dance of intimacy as opposed to just shooting a sex scene. She concluded. So all right, good luck.
Because there is a job, and there's if they're good at their job, everybody should feel comfortable, like literally everybody involved.
All right, and she loved to be naked. So all right, let's get into the last thing. Let's do some Guess the Race.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
Aggressive daycare worker bites 3-year-old after he bit another child. A daycare worker.
They bit you, so bite him back.
A daycare worker in Texas is accused of biting a 3-year-old boy after the child allegedly bit another kid at the youth center. Alicia Daniel, 54, was arrested last week and charged with felony injury to a child after she was caught on surveillance video at Little Angels of Maypearl Daycare in Ellis County, sinking her teeth into the arm of the young victim. She was very aggressive, very angry, said the police captain David Smith. Reaches out, grabs the student by the arm, pulls him towards her, then reaches her arm in her mouth, and at that time you can see a look of anguish or pain come across the child's face, and something's not right with it. CPS received a report in October about the alleged biting attack, and investigators probed the incident before contacting authorities. Police Chief John Shelton told KDFW that the surveillance footage was uncovered during the investigation and is what ultimately led to Daniel's arrest. He urged other parents to come forward if their children experienced similar injuries or attacks. If anybody wants to come forth with any additional information or any other incidents, then yes, we will investigate it. But so far, we just have one current one that we're investigating. A staff member asked if Daniel is no longer, if they're employed there. They said no, she is not. The family that she's accused of, the boy who she's accused of biting, said that their son has been emotionally affected by the incident and is confused by what happened. The family said they hope he gets justice in some way. The real question is he still biting kids? Right? That's not him.
That's the real question.
Karen, guess the race of Alicia Daniel.
I'm actually gonna go black.
Okay, Karen's gonna actually go black, everybody. Let's check the chat room. The dramatic report by the police screams black. Hannibal Lecter white. So it's split black and white on this one. I'm not one of your friends, black. Oh, the blacks are winning again. Interesting. It's gonna come down to the wire, everybody. Karen, you said black. The correct answer is white. A few of you got it.
Yeah, definitely would have got that wrong.
You did get it wrong, Karen. Not would have. You absolutely got it wrong.
I got that wrong because, you know, I remember when I was a smaller kid, one of my cousins, she probably was about that age, 2 or 3, and my mom walked outside, and all of a sudden, all the older cousins was like running back and forth around the backyard, and my mama, she couldn't figure out why we were running away from one of my smaller cousins. And that's because she was just biting everybody. And everybody would, you know, nobody wanted to harm her or bite her back. And she was like, bite her. And so we nibbled on. She's like, nope, bite her till the skin breaks. She got to learn that shit hurt. I was like, oh. She quit biting us, though. Right? That's why I said black. I had a traumatizing childhood.
But why would that be black, though?
Oh, I'm just going based off of my personal experience. That's
right,
all.
but that's because you're black.
Yes.
That could have happened in any family.
I know.
But it made you say black.
Yes. That.
Okay.
That's my logical reasoning.
No, I listen. All I'm doing is listening to you, and letting you explain.
It ain't got to make sense, but that's why.
It doesn't. You're right. It does not have to make sense.
Told you racism is irrational, illogical, y'all. It ain't got to make sense.
Mom abandoned. Let's see what you think about this traumatic childhood and what it paints in your life. Mom abandoned daughter at closed gas station at midnight after a small argument, say police.
Oh, damn.
A 42-year-old mother from New York was arrested after she allegedly threatened to stab her 13-year-old daughter before abandoning the child at a closed convenience station in Pennsylvania.
Oh, damn.
Tony Marie A. Barrett was taken into custody over the weekend and charged with 1 count of felony endangering the welfare of a child, making terroristic threats, and recklessly endangering another person. At 5:19 a.m. on Sunday, officers responded to a call regarding an abandoned child at Turkey Hill convenience store.
Not the Turkey Hill.
A Turkey Hill, I'm sorry. In Tannersville, Pennsylvania. So maybe, I guess Turkey Hill must be the brand. Oh, never heard of that. Investigators learned that the child and her mother, whom they identified as Barrett, had left the residence in Long Pond, Pennsylvania at around midnight to drive back to their home in New Rochelle, New York, which is a 114-mile trip east. During the trip, authorities say Barrett stopped at a closed gas station so she could plug their destination into a GPS and get directions home. During the stop, tensions between Barrett and her daughter escalated. A small argument ensued with the juvenile, and they both exited the vehicle, during which time Barrett threatened to stab the juvenile. Barrett then proceeded to leave the juvenile at the closed business and drove to a gas station in Effort, Pennsylvania, where she remained until police contacted her after 07 hours. Effort is about 10 miles southwest of Turkey Hill's location. A copy of the criminal complaint was obtained by a Pocono Record, which provided some additional details about the fight. According to the report, the daughter told police that while at the gas station, her mother demanded she hand over her iPad. The teen refused because she believed her mother would destroy the device. After being refused by the iPad, she allegedly threatened to stab her daughter if the kid did not give her the device, which she did. Barrett's daughter also reportedly mentioned that she would ask Barrett if she could use her cell phone to get directions, but Barrett refused. The teen then got out the car and Barrett allegedly drove away. She eventually walked to the Turkey Hill location after staying at the closed gas station for a few hours. When officers located Barrett, they said she admitted she did not attempt to look for the juvenile after leaving her at Turkey Hill and did not contact authorities to report her missing. She reportedly told police that after her daughter got out the car at the closed gas station, she couldn't find her. Barrett then realized her car needed oil, which is when she decided to leave and wound up in Everett. Here's the problem. Gas? Okay. Oil? Ma'am, that's not a I'll be back in a minute job.
You talking about at least 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
You're going to need an appointment, first of all.
And it's 4, 5 a.m. in the morning. What?
They didn't find you pulled over at Pep Boys.
No, they did not.
At the place
in front of the auto zone. What is this?
At the place under arrest, they put her in the Monroe County Correctional Facility. She's waiting on arraignment. Karen, guess the race of Tony Marie A. Barrett.
Tony Marie A. Barrett. That's a long ass name. I'm going. The actions say black, but all them names, Tony Marie A. Barrett, that's a long ass name. I'm saying white then.
Okay. If it matters, Tony Marie is one word. It's Tony Marie. A is the middle initial. Barrett. All right.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna go black.
Karen's going black. Okay. Apparently, a black person left you at a gas station one day. Vince Staples' mom in season 2 of Vince Staples' show Black.
You never know.
No father around to put a stop to this foolishness. Black. Getting Wawa hoagies in Pennsylvania. White. Fighting niggas. Mama don't play that. Y'all keep her little black ass. Those sound like sundown towns. White. Well, Karen says black. Many of you also said black on this one, but some of you said white as well. The correct answer is white. Karen, you missed it.
Oh, damn. I was right then.
No, you weren't. You were wrong.
No, my initial
Your
guess.
racism took over and you said,
yes, I did guess black, but initially I said white because that sounded like a white ass name.
Yeah, well, you should have went with that, Karen. But instead, you thought something inherently about black people makes them leave our children and abandon them at gas stations in the middle of the night. But that's what you said. Shout out to the people that said white. And it's time to go to the bonus round. Karen,
I'm terrible.
Yeah, Karen is 0 for 2 right now.
Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the race. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points.
Triple the points. Triple the race. Triple the race.
All right. Florida mom defends family after McDonald's worker allegedly pulls gun during argument.
Damn.
A Florida woman says she defended her family from a would-be spat of violence during a recent fast food experience. Anthony Markeith Elliott III, 19, stands accused of aggravated assault with a firearm. The underlying incident occurred around midnight, November 2nd, at a McDonald's drive-thru. What started out as a simple trip for a late-night meal slowly turned to a nightmare, according to the Miami Gardens Police Department. The victims had come to McDonald's to pick up their online food order and stated that they had been there a long time waiting for their food. They stated that the defendant, who was the cashier at the window, began giving them attitude and argued with them. They stated that they argued back and forth, and then the defendant stated that he would come outside.
Oh, no!
And then he came outside and flashed them a gun on his waistband. The victim himself discussed how the night slowly unfolded. In comments to Miami-based independent TV station WPLG. Chayton Timmons told TV station that they were waiting over an hour for pre-ordered food, leading to the argument and allegedly stubborn attitude. We looking at each other, me and my goddaughter looking at each other like, why are you upset? And he was like, I don't have to give you nothing, Timmons said. He was like, what you said, beep? What you said, beep? And we were like, are you serious? Like, what's really going on? So he clutched at his waist. They continued arguing with him, and then he approached the car and pulled a gun from his waistband, pointing at them in the car. Then they described the handgun as a silver handgun with a black grip. The woman recounted her quick thinking in response to the threat. I got on the phone with the cops, Timmons told WPLG. I said, this is going to be one of two ways. Miami Gardens Police Department, y'all need to get here to McDonald's because somebody finna die.
When they call you like that, they better be on their way. They was like, what would you like? She was like, somebody better come right now.
He has a death wish. He must have a death wish. This has got to be a suicide because there's no way I'm finna allow you to do anything bodily harm to mine. All over McNuggets, the reporter ejected. And she said, all over McChicken. Now, McNuggets, you gotta get it right now. Wasn't no McNuggets. This was a McChicken battle, okay? Shit's different when the McChickens get involved. I always say when the McChickens come out, y'all better be careful. She then covered her face with her hand as if to laugh at the absurdity of the situation. He must have a McFuneral to put my kids in harm's way. What? He must want to have a McFuneral to put my kids in harm's way. If that's a problem for me, I'm not that type of girl. I'm not the type of woman, and I'm not the type of parent. Police said there was no doubt.
What it really say?
That's what she said. The police said when we confronted the defendant, he admitted to pulling out the firearm and advised us he had stored it inside the store. The gun matched the description given to us by the victim. The witness, who is the store manager, also advised us what had occurred. All 3 stories matched. Not the manager snitching. Elliott posted $1,000 bond on Tuesday. Karen, guess the race of the Anthony Markeith Elliott.
I'm gonna go black. If y'all tell me Anthony Marquise Ellis is white, I'm just sucking at the game.
Anthony Markeith Elliott. That's it. You said Marquise, but anyway.
Markeith.
McFuneral. That's so good. That's not a race. Shake machine ain't working, but this pistol is black.
That's hilarious.
I tell you what's never down. We gonna see who the Hamburglar is today. Black. Everyone involved ordered Sprite with their meals.
That's hilarious.
Markeith with an F. Never argue with people that serve your food. A lot of babble. Black. The correct answer is, I think everyone said the same thing. You're all right. Black.
Oh, thank God.
Starting to get concerned about your racism?
I was, because child, these white people doing these black ass crimes was throwing me off today.
And that's him keeping that thing on him. Okay,
it was.
You want to take out? I'm gonna take you out. Okay,
right.
It's not a drive through, it's a drive by now, bitch.
That's hilarious. And you know that phone call was recorded when she was telling them, y'all better come get somebody. Y'all better be here quick and in a hurry.
Sword ratchetness time. Boom. Armed police deployed after man wields samurai sword amid parking riot. Oh, fight. That's what they say, fight over there. Armed police were deployed after a man wielded a samurai sword during a parking row in Stoke-on-Trent. Sean Smart became involved in the dispute after his father posted on social media about a neighbor who parked like a twat.
Not a twat!
The neighbor in question proceeded to come to Smart's home. Yeah, you can't just be saying I park like a twat. Them fighting words over there.
Yeah, it is.
So he came to Smart's home.
Just say buckaroo?
Yeah, I don't think that's how they talk over there. Buckaroo sounds like Western cowboys. Like Chip Chip Cheerio or some shit. I don't know. The neighbor in question proceeded to come to Smart's home and ask where his father was and tell him he should not be posting such things. Prosecutor Carolyn Harris told Stoke-on-Trent Crown Court Smart began pointing and gesticulating in a highly aggressive manner. The victim
gesticulating.
He was gesticulating. You better be careful. The victim then fled the scene, returning home as Smart's wife tried to apologize for her husband's behavior. The prosecution continued. Smart then appeared wielding what the victim described as a samurai sword. He made threats to kill while brandishing the weapon. Smart's children were present in the street and became upset. Armed police reported to the scene, showing how seriously this matter was taken. A red-handled machete was found by officers in Smart's garden. The father of two pled guilty to possessing a knife in a public space. In an impact statement shared with the court, the victim said he feared for his life and felt helpless. Paul Cliff mitigating claims Smart was an otherwise upstanding citizen who simply lost his composure after being confronted. The court heard that 11 good character references had been provided for Smart, whose behavior was out of character. Mr. Cliff added he had been minding his own business when a man showed up at the door and invited him out to the fields. He took this, quite reasonably, as a threatening remark. While possessing a knife, he got no closer than a garden's width away from the victim. He was not in the immediate space providing any sort of imminent or immediate threat. Garden's width? Boy, it must be so nice to live over there. I don't even know how long that is. A garden's, is that like 6 feet, 20 feet, an acre? What the fuck is a garden's width?
I have no idea. Y'all do measurement different.
Yeah, I mean, I know our shit sounds stupid.
Yeah, foot.
But foot, yard, you know.
Right.
But yeah, he was given a 16-month prison sentence, suspended for 18 months. He was also ordered to undertake 150 hours of unpaid work, and a confiscation order for the machete was issued. The judge said, "You've been cautioned twice before for your angry outbursts at police. I have no interest on the ins and outs of the parking politics of your street. Whatever the victim may have said, he was walking away when you came out waving a machete. Your own daughter, who was just 4 at the time, tried to stop you and you pushed her away. Even if you didn't take the weapon with the intent of using it, you escalated the situation, which increases the chance of weapons being used. You created a serious risk of disorder." Strong punishment. We love to see it. Get these sword wielders off the street. And I say it with a hard R. All right, y'all. We'll be back on Saturday for feedback. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah.